fat influencers are dying. Well, that's not a surprise.
Obesity is the leading cause of death in the USA. That didn't seem to worry these influencers too much, as they made money eating vast quantities of junk food, opened salons to cater to morbidly obese clients, and even dedicated their lives to proving that you can be healthy at every size. And all of these influencers met the same fate. And we'll start with the youngest influencer.
Oh, I guess it must be they all won the lottery. That must have been the fate.
On our list, who made thousands creating his mukbang content until it cost him the ultimate price. Efkan Kultur was a body-positive mukbanger who made his living by eating vast quantities of food online. Despite his aged appearance, obviously due to his massive weight, he was just 24 content consisting of simply recording himself eating meals. Efkan was from Turkey, which has a bit of a reputation for being one of the most obese countries in the world, as 61% of the population are overweight, with 30% of those being obese. A big factor of this is the food that is traditional in Turkey, with the biggest culprit being the traditional doner kebab, which is meat stacked on top of each other and sliced in rotisserie style. These kebabs are just covered in oil, which stacks up
I think I need to go to Turkey, guys.
The calories and makes it incredibly easy to gain weight, which is something that Efkan had no trouble doing. He didn't seem to mind gaining so much weight though, as it was allowing him to live a lifestyle of eating out at high-end restaurants and earning a living without needing a traditional job. This wouldn't last forever though, as his awful eating habit would soon catch up with him. In December 2024, he was hospitalized due to his weight and the related issues. In his last TikToks, he was shown just lying in bed, as his massive size meant he wasn't able to get up, suffering breathing problems and mobility issues. And just 3 months on from his initial hospitalization on the 7th of March, Efkan lost his life due to presumed heart failure. Now, although Efkan didn't speak too much in his videos,
who watches these videos? Fat people eating food watch videos of fatter people eating food, eating more food, so they can feel better about being fat and feel better about eating their food. That's the reason.
the next influencer to lose their life was massively outspoken about her views on fat acceptance, even running a podcast to talk about health every size. Dr. Cat Pier was an American academic. Cat found ways to monetize her fatness, ended up traveling the world, interviewing other obese people for her show. The key point of her studies and her shows was that fat people aren't being given the same rights as average weight people, claiming that people are rejected housing and even fired from their jobs for being too large. She actually wrote a study titled "I Don't Care About Health," where she claimed
and she's dead now, right?
That she's always had a sneaking suspicion that despite being morbidly obese, there was actually nothing wrong with her body health-wise. She wanted to convince people that being fat doesn't actually make you unhealthy, but provide supporting evidence for this. However, we would soon have some very strong evidence that went against this claim. Like I said in the introduction, obesity is the biggest cause of death in the USA. With almost 3/4 of the American population being obese, over 70 million adults are classed as it. Honestly, these numbers should be a wake-up call to change your habits. Now, Cat Pier unfortunately did not change her eating habits and carried on her crusade against society for their abuse and discrimination of fat people. This was all up until 2022.
This is like jumping in a volcano. Like, if you see somebody jump in a volcano and there's an idea that you'll be reborn as like a phoenix or something, but there's just more people that are jumping in a volcano, nobody's coming out as a bird, wouldn't at some point people realize, like, hey, maybe this is a bad idea, we shouldn't do this anymore?
Age of just 42 years old and living in New Zealand, passed away in her sleep. Same as the next influencer to tragically lose their life. His content was more about food. Waffle 69 or Taylor Lejeune was a 33-year-old food TikToker who posted videos of him eating huge and strange meals. He amassed over 1.9 million followers, and each of his videos gained millions of views.
7
it's safe
million.
to say he was making more than enough money to support his eating habit, and he needed it. If you take a scroll down his TikTok page, you can see that he must have been spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on huge meals and strange food items.
Today we're trying cookie liquor. I've got 3 McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. Which one's the best? I've got Lay's Waves Funyun Onion flavored rings. I've got 3 new pickled snacks. Let's see what they are. Loaded baked potato pickles, spicy garlic, and hot peppers. I got Surferboy pizza from the new season of Stranger Things.
Although his meals aren't as extreme as Efkan's, that doesn't mean his health was any better. And you can see that Taylor was massively overweight.
Honestly, you know what's crazy is that this guy looks skinny compared to the other two of them.
In a video uploaded on the 3rd of February, he actually shared the screen with his brother, and commenters loved him, even calling them an iconic duo. However, the next time we would see Taylor's brother would be under very different and heartbreaking circumstances.
Hey guys, I'm related to Waffle69, or my brother Taylor. He has passed away around 10 p.m. on January 11th, 2023, from a presumed heart attack.
The most shocking part is that Taylor's brother revealed that their father and grandfather died from heart failure, and Taylor died of a suspected heart attack. For the most part, Taylor was pretty uncontroversial and didn't make a big fuss about his weight or talk about it much, which is the exact opposite to Brittany Sauer.
Yeah, I mean, for that, I mean, I really can't, I can't really fault the guy or hate the guy that much. I'll be real. It's just kind of sad.
Her entire personality was based around her weight. Brittany Sauer was another professional TikToker who was 28 years old and lived in Springfield, Tennessee.
28.
Her hobbies included mainly gaming, but her biggest hobby was creating videos on TikTok, eating and showing off her body and supposed weight loss journey. Her TikTok account was called Sick and Tired of Waiting. The main interesting part was her account description, which read, regaining my mobility and life, BED recovery and type 2 diabetes. Now, although she did like to make jokes about being fat, it's the second part of her bio that we should focus on. As she said herself that she was in recovery for a binge eating addiction, and genuinely did seem like she was trying to make steps to change, even sharing her weight loss journey very openly.
Oh my god, I am 21.6 pounds down now.
Wow.
I'm excited.
She lost those 20 pounds that she talked about over around 150 days, so it was clear that despite her efforts to eat in a calorie deficit and exercise, it objectively wasn't working. At the end of 2022, she posted this TikTok, seeming to finally open her eyes as to just how serious her situation was becoming.
I ruined my life with food, binge eating, and lack of self-care, and hoping that it's not too late for me this time.
Brittany prays that it hasn't become too late to change, but unfortunately that would be the case. On the 2nd of January 2023, just 6 days after the previous TikTok, Brittany unfortunately passed away in her sleep, with many people pointing to a heart attack as the cause of death at the age of just 28. While Brittany was making an effort to change her life, the next influencer to lose her life was in the complete opposite frame of mind. Jamie Lopez was a 37-year-old reality TV influencer.
Oh, she was pretty old. It was longer than it usually goes for, right?
Who starred in the show Supersize Salon, which, as you can probably guess, featured sassy women who were all morbidly obese. Shared her reasons behind launching the salon too, and they're probably what you expect.
All of our chairs are fully equipped to hold up to 800 pounds. We wanted to create an environment where big women can come and feel like we treat it like royalty instead of go through discrimination like we do when we go to like regular salons that can't accommodate us. Regular salons that I go to before I opened my business, it was like to the point where I stopped going because I felt so uncomfortable. Some of the salons had to turn me down because they didn't have a chair for me. I knew I wasn't the only big girl that went through this, so I wanted to create an environment where everybody can come and get pampered and gorgeous and waxed and everything.
She actually launched a plus-size nightclub too, which was marketed towards the morbidly obese. As you've seen with the majority of people in this video, almost all of them have died due to some sort of heart complication, such as heart failure or a heart attack. Obesity significantly increases your risk of a heart attack by around 28%, and Jamie Lopez was a staggering 840 pounds, and if she was the average height of around 5'4", that puts her BMI at 144, putting her at huge risk of heart failure. In December 2022, she was rushed to a Las Vegas hospital with heart complications, and at the age of just 37 years old, succumbed to her obesity. It's honestly terrifying to think that some of these influencers were proponents of the healthy at every size movement, which is just downright dangerous.
I don't have a problem with someone being fat and then killing themselves by being fat, but I do have a problem whenever they start advocating for the world to change because they're fat.